Alright, I'm testing out the Pete's 53 Paste Wax from Chemical Guys. I was finally able to get my hands on it. I've been wanting to test this wax out for a very long time now, and I was just never able to pull the trigger and buy it because the price is right around $40, and there's a lot of waxes in that range that are very comparable. You've got the P21S Paste Waxes, Culinite has their 915, and Pinnacle has their Signature Series line. They're all right around that mid-tier price range. And a lot of those waxes get really good reviews as well, and Pete's 53 kept popping up in the forums. And so this particular jar of Pete's 53 was lent out to me by a family member, and it's almost completely used up, so I can't show you guys what the wax looks like. It's almost completely down to the bottom, but there's just enough left to do a nice test spot on the car. And so I'm going to go ahead and put it up against the ice paste wax. We're just going to test the level of water repellency and see how aggressively they bead water up. And I'll talk a little bit about the price point. You've got a lot of waxes like this ice paste wax that are lower price, around $13, and then these waxes that are in the mid-tier range, that $40 to $60 value. And I'll just go ahead and see if there's really that justification for the increase in the price. So I'll go ahead and put these on the car right now, and I'll come back tomorrow and we'll throw some water down on it and see how both of these waxes hold up. Alright guys, so I've got the Chemical Guys Pete's 53 Black Pearl Paste Wax on the left side fender and the left side hood facing the car here. And on the right side I've got the Turtle Wax Ice Paste Wax. And working with Pete's 53, I mean, I can tell right away why so many people like it. It goes on nice and easy. It comes off really easy as well. It's very smooth when you're working with it. And they designate this wax as a wipe on, wipe off wax. So as soon as you put it down on a panel, you can wipe that panel off and you'll have no issues with bonding. You don't have to let it dry for a specific amount of time. As soon as you put it down on the paint, it's ready to come off. And this is really aggressive water beading right here. If you really like beading waxes, you're definitely going to like this Chemical Guys wax. And I can say, you know, working with these products, these waxes and sealants, you know, there's a lot of products that don't bead this aggressively at the beginning. And so this is where testing is really fun, when I have the ability to find those waxes that are more based around my preferences, what I would like to see out of my products. And the big question is, how long is this aggressive beading going to last? Is this something that's short-lived, where it only beads like this for a very small amount of time? Or is the surface tension more durable so that it will bead up like this for a longer period of time? And that's really why I do an extended water test, and I usually follow up with the soap test afterwards. And I think doing a longer test like that, it makes for a longer video, but it really shows you guys a bigger picture of how these waxes are behaving. If a wax's surface tension really holds up throughout the duration of the water test and the soap test, then these waxes are generally going to be known to be more durable than maybe other waxes that have a large difference in the surface tension from the beginning of the test towards the end of it. So here's ice paste wax on this side here, and you guys know that I've tested this wax a whole bunch of times now, and there's really no doubt. I mean, if water beading is your main focus, this is definitely the wax to get over the counter if that's something that you're looking for. And when I take a look at this wax, I mean, this is a wax that's definitely a great performer for the price that they have it at. I mean, it smells great, it goes on easy, comes off easy. It's not the easiest wax to apply and remove. And I've said that before, I think that that's where Meguiar's wax is, you know, over the counter. That's where they have their advantage over this specific ice paste wax. You know, they're going to be a bit easier to apply and remove, but they will not give you this level of water repellency out of them. So that's one of the advantages of ice paste wax, unless you're really looking for a product that's more of a sheeting based, less hydrophobic product. And so, I mean, as good as this ice paste wax is, I mean, it's still not the perfect paste wax in my opinion. I want something that's going to be just a little bit easier to apply and remove, but something that's going to give me that tight level of aggressive water beading. And so this is where Pete's 53 comes into play, because it's definitely easier to apply and remove than the ice paste wax, and it appears to have almost exactly the same level of aggressive water beading out of it. Now, bringing up shine or gloss, I largely haven't been able to tell a difference in, you know, the level of shine or gloss. between a lot of the products that I've been testing out here on this specific paint. I pulled the car out in the sun and I've checked and I've tried to see if I could tell a difference, but I mean I haven't been able to see that, and if I was placed in a blind test, I would definitely not be able to pass that test to state which side had which product on. And that might be easier to tell on, a much darker black paint, but I mean, I've never been able to really tell the difference, whether or not something was glassy looking or glossy looking or giving out a deep carnauba based shine. I mean, most of these products look pretty much exactly the same when I apply them to the paint. If I've prepped the paint the same exact way, using Meguiar's M205 or Manzarna polishes. But here's a final beading shot of the ice paste wax and Pete's 53 over here. Definitely really hydrophobic. So I'll go ahead and get the soap out and we'll test short-term soap durability and see if the surface tension is changing. And we'll see just whether or not this crazy water beading is going to last longer than just the short rinse. Alright, so I'm using the Meguiar's Deep Crystal Car Wash Soap. It's got no wax or anything added in there, so it shouldn't mess with any of the results. And there's definitely a possibility for different soaps to behave differently with certain waxes and sealants. A lot of guys were using Dawn dishwashing soap to try and strip off or remove the remaining wax or sealant layer that's on the paint. But some of these soaps can leave behind their own sort of residue that actually sits there on the surface of the paint and alters the surface tension that way. So you might have the appearance that something has been stripped when really it's only leaving behind a residue that's causing the water to sheet water really flat or go completely hydrophilic. But with regular car wash soap like the Deep Crystal, we shouldn't have any of that residue left behind that's going to alter the surface tension in any way. If the surface tension is altered, it's going to be as a result of the wax or sealant's durability, its surface tension durability. So the Chemical Guys Pete's 53 and this ice paste wax have both held up really well. And you can see they're both repelling water aggressively. And so I would expect that you're going to get months and months of durability out of these waxes. Pete's 53 is like a hybrid sort of wax. It's got polymers in there. They call them liquid crystal polymers from Chemical Guys. I'm not sure exactly what that means. They say it has 53% Brazilian white carnauba wax in there as well. I mean, it's white in color, and it's a harder paste wax as well, so it's got a harder texture to it. It smells a little bit like vanilla. And I've seen that some people have had some staining problems when they try to applying Pete's 53 to the trim, so I would recommend that you keep it off the trim just to be safe. And I think it's pretty competitively priced with other waxes that are around its price range. And I think it's priced right around where it should be, in between that $30 to $40 range. I mean, if you love beading, I mean, it's definitely going to give you those results. But looking at the ice paste wax, it's going to give you similar levels of beading just at a very low price. And I don't think Pete's 53 is overpriced. I think that ice paste wax is underpriced. I think if they put ice paste wax in a different container and sold it under the Chemical Guys or Pinnacle name, they could probably sell it for $30 to $40 easily. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If any of you have used Pete's 53 before, I'd love to hear how it's been working for you or if we're getting comparable results. And stay tuned to my channel. I have a whole bunch of tests and product reviews coming up. And thanks for watching.